Let's start the session with prayer. Close your eyes and hand Namaskar Mudra, spine straight, and chant with me. Om Sangachadyam Sambodhatyam Sambho Manasi Janatam Deva Vagam Yatha Purve Sanjanana Upasate Om Sahana Vavatu Sahano Bhunatu Sahaviryam Karvavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahai Om Shanti 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 Yogena Chittasa Padena Vacham Malam Sarirasya Chavekena Yopakarotam Pravoram Neenam Patanjalin Pranajalirana Tashmi Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Rub your palm. And while it's a little warm, gently attach your eyeball and face. And gently open your eyes. Okay, can you be in video mode?
Next week onwards, please.
Pardon, please?
I said next week onwards, please. Is that okay?
Okay. Not an issue.
Thank you. Where are the other two? Neha
I don't
and
know. Anita. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Neha joined but leave. I don't know. Some maybe some network issue or something like that. I don't know. She had joined. Okay. In last day we had discussed. Sir, what was Sir discussing about in last day?
We did Chitta Prasadanam.
Chitta Prasadanam in page number
61. We completed it.
51. Okay. Then in the last day we were doing.
Can you just give me a minute? There was just a minute.
Sure. No problem.
Yeah, sorry. Yes. Hello?
No problem. Yes.
Yeah. Thanks.
So in last day.
Yesterday, that was yesterday, we completed Chitta Prasadanam.
Okay.
Page 61.
Okay, that is absolutely fine. So in last day, I was discussing in this part. Okay.
Which part is that?
Is this Dinacharya, Ritucharya?
Okay. Just let me get in that other module. Just a minute.
Yes, yes, no problem.
And the page number would be?
Page number would be 104.
Page number 76.
104.
104. 104. Right.
Got it?
Right. Dinacharya and Vitacharya.
Yes. So we already have discussed this one and we can discuss, but you are not there in the session.
But since I take this course on Ayurvedic diet and nutrition,
Yes.
I'm aware of this.
Okay. So this is fine, right? So, okay. This is Dinacharya and Ritucharya. And then we can start this part, that is 3.7. That is importance of Ahara, Nidra and Brahmacharya in well-being.
Okay.
So diet means food. Mitahara is mentioned in Hatha Yoga Pratipika. That means in this part, what it says, that where 1/4 of our stomach should be kept empty and simple, soft and sweet food should be taken. That means what it means? It means if the stomach is 100%, we have to keep empty that 25%.
True.
And 75% is you can take food and water, but 25% needs to be kept empty. Because that is how it works. Otherwise, how it will work?
Yes,
how it will
you
digest.
Can draw an analogy with the washing machine.
yes, absolutely.
If you stuff
absolutely.
It will not move.
Yes, it will overflow.
True.
There are reference that by doing this, God or Ishva or Shiva will be pleased. Why it is saying in that way? Because in that way, if we are exhausted, if we are how should we put it, हम अगर खुद ही बहुत exhausted है, मतलब digestion के लिए इतना परेशान है, तो how it will be possible to be peace within? Right, it is not possible. And if we are not healthy and if we are not in peace, it is not possible to connect with God. True. So that is how it works. In Bhagavad Gita, when it comes to food, Yuktahara is mentioned, and it is said that human beings are endowed with 3 qualities, that is namely Sattvic, Rajasic and Tamasic. Rajasic food is hot and very spicy, as we all know, and have good nutrition. I'm very sorry. Those who are Sattvic have good nutritious food prepared in a simple way. That is the basic funda of Sattvic. Sattvic, what does it mean? Sattvic means that is simple food. Simple food and with the nutrition, with full of nutrition. Now, what is Rajasic? Rajasic is spicy, hot, and very spicy kind of food. And there might be nutrition, might not be nutrition. And this causes a lot of disease in a human body. As there is spice, a lot of spice, so it will harm in our body. And the last one, that is tamasic food. That means it is a stale food. After preparing the food, After 6 hours, it is getting stale. Okay, so that means if we are having those kind, and we usually have those kind of foods. In the morning we prepare the food, and in the evening we are having it. So we usually do that. But the thing is, those kind of generally what it is suggested that we need to have this kind of any kind of food within 6 hours after preparation. Preparation,
Ideally 1.5 hours max.
yes,
Because what they say is, whatever you prepare your food with, there's prana in it. There's
after,
a lot of energy.
within 1.5
Within 1.5 hours, the prana still retains. There's a lot of, in the sattvic way of life, ideally one should have the food within 1.5 hours of preparation.
And
After 6 hours, it definitely goes stale, and you're not
yes,
supposed to have it.
yes,
But if you want to retain the good qualities of the food that you have prepared, home cooked food, and take in all of that energy inside of your body and integrate that.
yes.
So ideally, soon after the heat calms down, but till about 1.5 hours, the prana is still there in the food.
Okay, that means the hot food, matlab jo bhi those who which is prepared in that moment or after 1
Right.
hour
No,
within.
but not immediately. You're not also supposed to have really hot food. No, because
It
everything
is
is
lukewarm.
moderation, right?
Yes.
Yeah, yes. Sort of lukewarm. Yes,
Yes.
sort of warm, but not hot.
Yes. But there are people who are usually stack their fridge with all kind of foods and
So that
years
is
of
something
years.
that we have been taught, right? That is something that
Yes.
we have been taught by the West, and we follow the West. First, we get the refrigerator, then we get the microwave,
Absolutely.
one after another, killer of prana. And
Yes.
yeah, but
Then that is how we taught, and that is how we act.
follow, because all in the name of convenience, right? Because our lifestyle has also become
Absolutely.
that we cannot
Absolutely.
afford to live a sattvic way of life. Can any one of us? Do we have that luxury of time?
Exactly. We do not have that time. And
So
that's why we have to follow this kind of process.
exactly, as long as we know what is to be done, and try and integrate those elements in our life in our own way. I can't preach my life to you, and
Absolutely. Yes,
we are
yes,
all very,
yes.
very unique by the way we look at it. But as
Absolutely.
long as we know what is to be done and try to the optimal best
Yes, that is the ultimate thing.
ability. Yes, yes,
And
absolutely.
until you are trying to do this, that is the ultimate thing. You need to
Yes,
try.
true, because everything is interrelated, right? Nothing exists in isolation. All
Yes.
of a sudden, if I tell a corporate person you're supposed to lead this kind of sattvic life, he'll show me the door.
Yes. What are you talking rubbish?
Yes, then you better pay for my bills at the end of the
Yes.
day. And I'm happy to do that.
Yes. So that is not required. We
Yes,
do not
true.
need to suggest those kind of things.
Each one of us, as long as we do what we can to the best of our ability, knowing
Yes.
what is to be done ideally.
Absolutely, absolutely. So what is there in Mitahara? Mitahara, there are two kind of concept in diet. One is in Hatha Yoga Pradipika, and there is another one in Bhagavad Gita. Hatha Yoga Pradipika, it is said as Mitahara, and in Bhagavad Gita, it is Yuktahara. Now, what is Mitahara? Mitahara is one fourth part of your stomach needs to be full. It needs to be kept empty. And what is Yuktahara? Yuktahara is the guidelines for eating. Moderation are given in Yuktahara. That means you do not need to have full of your stomach, and you do not need to hungry as well. Matlab,
Yuktahara applies to everything, not only just ahara. It
yes,
applies
yes,
to,
absolutely,
yeah.
absolutely.
As in moderation. Moderation in
Moderation. Moderation
yes,
in
every
every terms
aspect
of
of your life.
living. Yes.
Right, right.
Where a person will not eat too much and will not stay hungry. This is especially useful for maintaining good health. We know that the main goal of yoga is to keep the human body healthy and healthy for a long time. Proper intake of food keeps the body digestive system healthy, have good digestion capacity, and digestive problem can be avoided. This is all we know. As you all also in Ayurveda, you must have that this kind of ideas that if we are having a proper food, then it is easier for our digestive system as well.
True.
Otherwise, we are jeopardizing our digestive system as well as our energy.
True, very true.
And our energy is how our digestive system works with the help of our energy. And if all of our energy is considered our digestive system only, then how it will work in other way, in other dimension? It will not work.
True.
So we need to keep our digestive system so much with the light food, so that it will work automatically. That means it is just like a flow. It is just in a normal process, not with a lot of effort. It needs to take.
True. True.
Okay, so there are many problems the body has that occur from bad food habits only, such as gastric ulcer, constipation, heartburn, indigestion, obesity, piles, etc. So there are a lot of people who are having this kind of issues: gastric ulcer, constipation, heartburn, indigestion, and people are like going to doctors and they are having a lot of things, but they do not have any idea of what they are having in their food.
True.
They do not have,
Absolutely right.
absolutely, and they are have like they do not have that idea that what should they have to take in their food and how to change their food habit
Not
instead
only
of.
just what, not only just the what part, even the how part and the when part is equally important. For
Yes,
example,
yes.
we have the circadian clock, right? And Ayurveda defines it so beautifully. For example, the first hours of the morning, as in between 6 and 10, it's the kapha period.
Hmm.
Kapha is cold. Kapha is, a stage where the digestive juices are a lot less. Especially, for example, if we take the example of winters, right now, because it's between 6 and 10 is the kapha period, there are people who will say, I have fruits for breakfast. But your fruits will never get digested if you're having fruits between 6 and 10, because your digestive juices are not properly aligned because of that kapha
Hmm.
period. Between 10 and 2, it is the pitta period. Pitta, as in your digestive juices are working really well for you. So if
Hmm.
then you can have your, fruit probably as an in-between meal of your breakfast and your
Hmm.
lunch, whatever, then it makes sense. Then once again, if your food is not digested and you're taking food once again, then that creates a whole of a lot of issue because your food has not left your stomach. It hasn't gone to the small
Yes,
intestine, to the large intestine, and you're overburdening your system already. The
yes.
juices will not secrete. And in Ayurveda, there's this concept of what you intake has to go out of your system. If it's not
Hmm.
going out of your system, that is where all the epigenesis of diseases start taking place. That is where you
Hmm.
have wind, and wind is where your all of your diseases begin to take place.
Absolutely,
So there's a
absolutely.
beautiful way of, and how you take it is also important. If you remember, as children, we were taught to chew our food 32 times over. But do we? We just gulp down food. We're looking, watching TV, food in
Yes,
front of us, maybe a phone and on, and
very bad habit
talking
actually.
over. Terror horrible, I
Yes,
have to say. I mean, there's no mindfulness that is going on,
no
no connection
mindfulness,
with
no consciousness, no mindfulness.
no.
Only, no, only there is two way thing happening in the same place.
Yet food is the absolute best medicine that we can take, actually.
Absolutely. By changing your food habit and how you are having it, and when
Hmm.
you are having it, you can just solve all most of our most of our diseases.
Absolutely. You will not have other, you will not develop any diseases in your body other than the genetic issues that you have.
Hmm.
That can also be addressed through lifestyles and yoga ways. You will not develop any diseases in the first place if you have a proper understanding.
And if we
And
also develop,
interestingly,
we can
hmm,
just we can address that as well. If
oh
you
yes,
all.
of course we can. Of course we can do that if you're
Yes,
conscious enough and mindful enough. And the
Yes.
interesting bit is, human species are supposedly the most intelligent species, right? Yet, if
Yes,
you look at the
absolutely.
animal, if you look at the animal kingdom, they don't have hospitals. It is us humans who have created hospitals for pets because we decide what they eat. And because we
Yes,
have very little understanding of what they should eat, we put them in a hospital. But the
true.
but the animals in the wild, they don't need any.
They don't
No,
need
they
any
don't.
hospital.
Then absolutely not, because nature has perfectly designed their systems in a manner that at least food
And
is not an issue for them.
that is also applicable for us as well.
True, true. But we just have forgotten. And everything was written down, right? What to
And
eat, when to eat, how much
everything is
to eat
written down.
was given to us. But thanks
But
to our, how shall I say, thanks to our, slave mentality, that we started following the West blindly without
absolutely,
realizing what you're doing.
what we have, or what we already have, we do not need to. We are just looking around all over the places.
We are the land of Vedas. We do not need to look anywhere.
Yes, yes,
Absolutely
that is.
nowhere.
But
Look inside and
yes,
within. Hmm.
that is what I'm trying to say. We are
Mhm.
मतलब जो भी people are looking around the places, but we need to focus on the what we have.
Absolutely.
In
Absolutely.
Vedas, in Upanishads, everything is there.
Absolutely everything. Even in Panjika, earlier every household would have a Panjika.
Hmm.
In Panjika, it's actually written down when to have, in which season to have what time
Hmm.
of the day you should have what, how much to have, how to have, everything.
Panjika, I do not have that kind of idea. I have seen that Panjika in the pink color book,
Right,
uh,
true. If
Beni
you if
Madho
you ever
Ponjika or something like that.
Right, right. If you ever go to a bookstore, pick it up and just see for yourself.
Okay.
Everything is given down to the detail as to which season you should have what,
Hmm.
etc. So on and so everything throughout the day, what you should have, how much you
Hmm.
should have, everything is
Those
given
kind
down
of
to the
things are
detail.
also
Yes,
there.
yes,
Okay.
yes, yes, absolutely.
So now what is Nidra? We know that individual can go through four state every day. Now what are they? Number one is awake, that is Jagrata. The second one is dream, that is Sapna. Third one is sleep, that is Nidra. And the fourth one is meditative, that is Turiya. Jagrata, Sapna, Nidra, and Turiya. Jagrata means when we are awake in all the time. Dream, that is when we are dreaming and not in full sleep, full
Hmm.
no, deep sleep state.
Hmm.
That is the third one is Nidra, when we are sleeping and we are deep sleep. And the fourth one is Turiya. We are not in sleeping state and we are not in dreaming state. We are in
Hmm.
meditative state.
Hmm.
In Bhagavad Gita, sleep or awakefulness is directed to the directed to be proper. If sleep is irregular, then that person cannot be a yogi.
Hmm.
Much of our physical well-being depends on sleep. If sleep is not proper, a person will not feel well physically. Again, if a
Hmm.
person sleeps too much, his standard of physical fitness will decline, and excessive sleep will lead to a lazy, physical, obsessed, obese person.
Hmm.
Such a person may not be entitled to good health. Again, due to insomnia, a person feels mental exhaustion and weakness in the body, which leads to an outbreak of major disease in the body. That is why sleep is given special importance in the Bhagavad Gita, because proper sleep indicates long term well being, good physical, mental, and spiritual well being.
Hmm.
Because this sleep is very important when we are having, there are people who are having 10 to 12 hours sleeps, or
Hmm.
more than 12 hours sleeps.
Hmm.
These people are like very lazy, tamasic people.
Hmm.
We all know. And there are, if you have heard any conversation or any interview of Sadhguru, he usually tells that um, 3 to 4 hours, 3.5 hours sleeps he usually takes.
Why only him? Even Indira Gandhi, even Modi, Narendra Modi,
Yes, there are a
all
lot
of
of
them.
people. Yes,
They do that with the help of
yes,
yoga nidra. They
yes.
do that.
And that is how they are so they can work so with so much energy.
They have, that is because, we have so many pranas in our body. The five main pranas, actually there are 49, and therefore 49 Sanskrit letters. So these 49, you need not even focus on the 49. If you focus on the five major important pranas, and if you have been able to clear the energy blockages inside of your body, and the flow of prana is regular and smooth, then, I mean, you will not need to define a person as a tamasic person. If you have a
Yes,
proper flow of energy in your body, that person will not be able to be tamasic. He will be
yes,
on his 2 feet. He'll be so full of energy that, automatically he'll start going here and there, and will be up and about.
true, very
But,
true.
but we are not taught that, right? We are taught Pythagoras
Yes,
theorem in school.
we
God knows
have
what
to
we
we
do with
have
it.
to we have to sleep 8 hours minimum.
Yeah. We have to sleep 8 hours, but we do not even know to be able
How
to
to
sleep.
sleep?
Yeah, yes, of course, we do not know, right? There are
Yes,
so many, very many people who go off to sleep, but by the time they wake up, they're equally exhausted, if not
yes.
more,
Then what
because
is the
they have
meaning of
not been,
sleeping?
exactly, because they have not been able to relax their mind, which is,
And yes, and in the school there are a lot of things which needs to be there in school, and which is not there.
I mean,
Means
you are not taught anything about yourself, nothing. You
absolutely
do not know
nothing.
nothing about yourself,
And
but you're
what we
taught
have
everything
learned,
about
there
the
is
outside.
no use of it.
Yes, true.
What we have learned in till class 12, there is no use of it.
True. I mean, I remember I learned Pythagoras theorem. Do I remember anything of it? What do
There
I
is
do with
no
it?
point.
I mean, education that has no application is
No
zero. It all
application, no
culminates
application,
to zero.
no application.
I just wish,
There,
like earlier days, Gurukul system comes into being, where you just know everything, where you know how to feed yourself, to make
hmm,
your own food, to make your
be-
own furniture, to make your own
absolutely,
home,
absolutely.
to know
This is
exactly
how
what is
you should
going on in
live.
your
This is
inside.
how you should live, right? And
Exactly.
not depending on others, and not depend. This is that's why how we depending on others. We
That's
depending on
what the
our
modern
maids.
world, yeah,
Yes,
true. That's the word. That's what the modern, so-called modern world has created, dependence.
yes.
Dependence at every level, right? If you do not create
Dependence at every
dependence,
level.
then those people at power, those people who are earning the money out of creating dependence at large, will not be in their place of power. Nobody wants
Absolutely,
a happy society. Nobody. Because if you have a happy society, you will not step out to buy those clothes. You will not step
absolutely
out to buy those teas. You will not need a cafe to go to. You'll be happy
true.
wherever you are, whatever you're wearing, whatever you're
Yes,
eating.
there
But
is no
nobody
need
wants
to
that.
do that.
Ah, of course. But the need has to be created for this society, consumer
Absolutely,
driven society to run, right? As
absolutely
we have
true,
done.
true, true.
Mm.
And this social media has increases that kind of vibes as well.
Absolutely. They do not even spare children. They use pester power to make advertisements so that children pester their, parents to do whatever they want them to do. And people are, and kids are going crazy. These days, at the
Mm.
drop of the hat, they commit suicide because parents did not get
Yes,
them
and we
this
couldn't
or
even
that or
think about
whatever.
that.
Hmm. But this is the society that we have created,
Yes,
unfortunately.
yes, no wonder about it. So the next one is Brahmacharya. The observance is the control of the senses. The senses here refer to both senses of knowledge and senses of action, both of them. As a result of control the senses, the yoga practitioner finds true happiness. Each sense is like a horse in a chariot. So do you have this kind of idea how it shows?
Shows as it shows what?
Just 1 minute. In Upanishad,
Hmm.
chariot is
The body.
represents as a mind. Okay,
Okay.
in Kathopanishad, I'm just showing you one thing. Just one
Uh-huh.
minute. Can you see this?
Just a minute. Just a minute. Yes, yes.
Okay. So here it is described in Kathopanishad, in Upanishad. Okay. So how it says? It says that this chariot and this horses are works as a mind, and just see the analogy. Horses are the senses, right? And this reason is the mind. It is controlled by the senses. Our mind is controlled by the senses, right? Okay. Now, buddhi or intellect, this is controlled by the senses and the mind, right? Which is driven by the charioteer. It is represented as a charioteer. Now, who is the owner, that the self, that the atma? That person is enjoying behind the chariot. That person is sitting there.
Right.
And now, what is the chariot? The
body.
It is the body. It is how it describes in Kathopanishad.
Beautiful.
So it is. Would you like to take a screenshot of it?
I have already.
Okay. Okay. So just come back to this part. Okay. So each senses is like horses in the chariot, as we see. And if it is not properly bridled, it can distract the rider, the charioteer, who is controlling the chariot. So a yoga practitioner should control the senses by controlling the mind, right? And it is controlled by, it is also done by that, influenced by the senses. Okay. Through this moderation, one can make his personal life and social life right. The desire to enjoy the senses is always in abundance. But it is the duty of an established responsible yogi to restrain the sense from that desire for enjoyment. As a result of this control, his body and mind always remains calm, which improves his mental health. Good mental health is especially useful for a person at the present time, and which helps to keep his physical health intact. So this is very useful and very important part, that how we should control our mind. How should we control our mind, and that impacts on our body level, and that impacts on our intellect level, that impacts on how we control everything.
Not only intellect, but also health, right? Today,
Absolutely.
even the medical world acknowledges every disease is psychosomatic. So
Yes.
it's the psycho as psyche as in the mind, and somatic is the functioning of the body.
Yes.
So if you can control the mind, you will not get those psychosomatic diseases.
Yes. Absolutely.
And
So
you control the mind. How do you do that? You do it with pranayama, by controlling the prana or the breath. And the asanas, of course.
So this part you have already done, right? The Maître, Karuna, Mudita Upeksha.
Yes, but there's mention of Maître, Karuna, Mudita Upeksha in the other module as well. So we did it from that other module.
Yes, so that is Maître, Karuna, Mudita Upeksha Nam, Punya Punya Vaishyanam, and Bhavatas Chitta Prasadanam.
True. That's and this is from unit 2.7.
Unit 2.
Yeah, there's mention of Maitri, Karuna, Mudita Upeksha and other modules as well.
Yes. So in this part, it is said that Maitri means we need to, Maitri means friendship.
Right.
We need to do that kind of friendship with those kind of people who are happy. Right? And Karuna means, what does it mean? Karuna means to give
Compassion.
compassion. Yes, compassion. Compassion to whom? Who needs it? Who needs compassion? That doesn't.
Everything should begin with self, something that, one does not mention here. But even Maitri, if you're not friends with yourself, you can never be friends with
Absolutely,
others.
absolutely.
If you do not have compassion for your own self, you can never be compassionate towards others.
Absolutely. And this is absolutely applicable for one person, and for each situation. Each situation can happen for one person as well. Like,
Absolutely.
Like your friend is asking for your friend, sometimes he's very happy or very in a positive mood, and we are like in a Maitri state of we should do that kind of behavior, Maitri. And if he comes to you and he is telling that, oh, my work pressure is so huge and I cannot handle those kind of pressure, so I'm giving you compassion. Yes, you have to do it, but I'm giving you compassion. That is fine. Now, what is Mudita? He's getting promotion. Okay, I'm also happy for you. Yes, this is absolutely fine. Now, if we are doing this kind of upeksha is, I have to now he is
Avoid.
coming for avoid. Yes, that is avoid. Now,
when he or she is projecting negativity onto you,
yes,
we
do not need to look into it, because that is affecting on myself as well.
True.
I need to.
Sorry.
Yes, tell me.
But all of this you do with a certain sense of detachment.
Yes.
Otherwise, you're getting pulled into the vortex of however their state of mind is.
Absolutely.
When they're happy, you're becoming happy. When they're sad, you're becoming sad. When they're in that vortex of negativity, you're becoming negative yourself. So you have to have that
kind of detachment.
Of detachment, yes.
Yes. So that means you can choose one of these four behavior with the same person, being detached with that particular person itself.
Absolutely. And it can be self as well, right?
Absolutely.
So there are times we are happy. We need not associate that happiness with ourselves, because the self is very, very different. The self is the Atma and the Purusha, right? So,
yes.
To be able to practice this with your own self, I try. I mean, ever since I came across, but this is not easy. I tell you this.
This is most hard.
But anyway, we also know of dharana. So once you stray, you come back to it.
Yes. And everywhere it applies.
It does.
Absolutely. Okay. So our mental health depends on our state of mind. And in order to keep a good mind, it is our duty to follow some rules. For peace of mind, we should only befriend with happy, be empathetic to sad, show respect to the honored, and be kind to the wicked. If our friendship is with sad people, it will disturb the peace of mind, because those who are naturally sad will maintain that feeling of sadness in any situation. But that means if that person is sad, whatever he gets in his life, he will be sad.
But there's a saying in Bengali, and it goes like Uttam nishchinte chale adhamer shathe, tini moddam jini cholen tafate.
Right.
So here I would like to think the way they define Uttam. Uttam as in the one who has been able to cultivate that certain note of detachment. And Madhyam would be the one who hasn't been able to cultivate that detachment and gets attached to others' happiness, others' sadness, others' sorrow, and so on and so forth. So yeah, probably if you're at that Madhyam state of mind, then you should not be around unhappy people, because you'll become unhappy yourself. But yeah, but the enlightened ones, say for example the gurus, the sadgurus, the real gurus. I'm not talking about the ones who just don on the orange robe and call themselves self-proclaimed gurus. I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about the true enlightened ones. They will never choose their devotees, right? They'll welcome all. The criminals are as much welcome as the, the higher souls.
Right.
So they are the Uttam Purushas who have been able to cultivate that certain note of detachment.
True.
I think end of the day, that should at least be our focus and aim, whether or not we have been able to cultivate it here and now. But as long as we are aligned with that pathway.
Yes. So true. And they will find sorrow even in the happiest of circumstances. So whatever they'll get in their life, whatever happiness they'll get, they will feel sorrow, they will feel sad.
True.
So
true.
if we make friends with such sad people, we will become partakers of that sadness.
True, because once again in English there's a saying, they say you are the company you keep. And if you're continuously with those around those sad people,
You will be
where
sad.
you cannot, yes, you will be sad. But of course, if you have been able to, for example, counselors, psychiatrists and psychologists, they're always with sad and mad people around them,
Yes,
right?
yes.
If they say,
Because they
I'm
know
not
how
going
to detach.
exactly, and they go through that exercise where they are taught how to emotionally completely detach themselves from their patients.
Yes.
So similarly, if you have been able to detach yourself, and you being a happy soul can share your happiness with the sad people and make them a little happy, well enough. But if you have not been able to do that unto yourself, get that protection of detachment,
Yes.
then ideally you should not be around sad people.
That is kind of protection, as you say. That
Oh
is
yes,
kind of
yes.
protection.
Oh yes,
This is
absolutely.
this detachment is when you detached with something, you are protecting yourself. You're protecting
Absolutely.
your peace. That's it.
That is the healthy boundary that you draw.
Yes, you need to draw.
Oh yes, but there are some days when you can allow yourself to be detached, when you feel that. But there are days when you're so you're in that
you
state of
feel to
mind.
be attached.
Exactly. So
And that is why dharana comes.
True, absolutely. Yeah. This is such a beautiful concept, dharana.
Okay, so we should treat each type of person appropriately to keep our mind good, to keep our mind healthy. This will increase our mental well-being and help attain peace. This is how we can maintain the peace in our body, in our mind, everywhere.
Yes, but also for example, you being a yoga practitioner, you know how to impact the endocrine system, right? You know that if somebody practices yoga for a period of time, then they'll start releasing those happy hormones. But you as a yoga practitioner, if you say, no, I'm not going to interact with you because you're sad, then, you're not doing justice to what you are and who you are becoming.
You do not need to do that, because you know how to react. You know how to react. How to detach. Yes.
Right.
And if you are not able to do that, then you should not interact with that person.
True, absolutely true. So you'll have to identify the pattern inside of yourself and then act accordingly. So respond. Yes.
You absolutely have to respond, because there are a lot of people who will come to you, who and you need to respond with those all people, right? You have to respond to everyone, and how you respond, this is up to you. This is
Up to
what
you.
we
And also true, and also in the yoga principle it's written that there are times when you will not be able to accept a student, then you refer that student to somebody else who is in a better position, or who is in a rather not better, that's not the word, who is in an appropriate position to take up that student.
True. That is a healthy relationship, how it works.
True. End of the day, you're wanting the best for all of you, including your own self.
Yes.
Yeah, even in our airline. So, as flyers, you would realize that whenever it's announced on board, it's always announced that you will have, even if you're carrying a child with you, in case of an emergency situation, you as a mother will need to don on the face mask first, oxygen mask first. Only then you're allowed to put the mask on your side. Because if you yourself compromise your health, then you
won't be
cannot,
able
you are
to
just a handicap. Yes, you will not be able to help. If you can't help yourself, you can't help anyone. And the saying goes like this also, God helps those who help themselves.
Absolutely. This is how it works, because you won't be able to help others when you are in a lack of all those things.
Compromise situation. Yes,
Yes,
true, true,
this
very
is
true.
not even possible.
No.
Like you are pouring your empty jar with the
Mm,
glass in a glass, and it
mm.
will not fill in up.
No, absolutely that. And sometimes it's not even empty. Sometimes you probably are so negative, you probably are
Yes,
pouring in the
pouring a
negativity in
negative things
somebody.
as well.
Yes, yes. So you just need to know what
What
to
you are
share, what
pouring.
not to share, how to isolate yourself, when to isolate yourself, when to allow yourself to be in company of others, with who. So yeah, that requires a lot of self-awareness.
Absolutely. And that is a, a huge journey, a
True.
long journey.
True. It does not happen in a day. It takes time. All the more reason because we are not taught this from our very childhood. If we
Yes,
were taught
yes,
this from our very childhood, it'll not be all that challenging.
yes,
Because
absolutely.
for a child, even learning ABCD is as easy or as difficult as learning how to take care of self.
Absolutely, absolutely. There is nothing in their brain, nothing in their head. Whenever, whatever you are putting, that is, they are just absorbing all those things like a
True.
sponge.
True. It's
If
an
you are
empty
giving
canvas.
them, yes, if you are giving them negative things, they are taking all those things. If you are giving them positive things, they will take all those things.
Absolutely.
And
Now,
that
in
is
fact,
how the mother tongue develops.
not only mother tongue, it's a scientifically proven fact that if you expose a child to 10 different languages with till 10 years of his time, 10 n number of languages, forget about 10, n number of languages,
That
he'll pick
the
up
child
all
will
of them languages,
uh,
all of them, and you will not need to teach them.
hmm.
How did we learn our mother tongue? Did anyone teach us? Not
No,
really.
no.
There's something called an absorbent mind. When a child is
Yes.
growing up in his initial formative years, initial years, they absorb things. And this
Hmm.
absorption starts happening even when the fetus is inside of the mother's uterus.
Oh,
So you remember how Abhimanyu picked up that mantra of creating the chakra view?
Chakrabua.
Yes. And then he did not know how to come off it because that was not
Yes.
discussed.
Yes, yes. That was not in there. Yes.
Yes. So that is absorbent mind.
Hmm. Right. Okay. So, do we start this one?
I
Okay,
think
let
we
me.
just leave it be because anyway they'll also need to catch up. Anita and what's her name?
Yes, yes, yes.
Neha. Huh.
Anita and Neha. Okay.
Hmm.
So, 3.8. This is
Hmm.
fine.
So we wrap it up here.
Okay, okay, okay. No problem.
It's a very special date today. It's 111122.
Yes, yes. 111122. Yes, this is very special day.
Hmm.
Okay.
And I'll just share this with you. This is of course not part of the code, but they say if you pray around 1111, as in 11 past 11, which is already past in the morning, but at night, if you pray at that time, because it's that a portal has opened up, whatever you wish to manifest will manifest. So if you sit down to meditate with whatever you wish for yourself, you can do that at night, tonight at around 11:11.
Okay. Okay.
That's what they say. So I just wanted to share this with you.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Okay. Let's end the session with prayer.
Yeah.
Chant with me. Close your eyes and hand namaskar mudra, spine straight, and chant with me. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah
सर्वे सन्तु
Sarva
निरामया
सर्वे
सर्वे
भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् ॐ
ॐ शान्ति
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 शान्तिः
शान्तिः
Rub your palm. And while it's little warm, gently touch your eyeball and face and take your own time to open your eyes
Thank you so much for the class.
So much.
It was nice interacting with you.
Yes, same here.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Have a good day.
Same to you.
Bye.
Yeah. Bye. Thank you for the information as well.
Oh, yes.